Um, Pleasant good day to each and every one of us here in my YouTube channel, Kuyaeggworld. Okay. I would like to express my sincere appreciations and thanks to the subscribers who are following my YouTube channel, and I am so happy that I am able to reach this far, and I am hoping that you as subscribers, if you have suggestions or comments to this YouTube channel, please give me a chat or a comment, and I will address your concern and comments. Okay, I want to I want to improve this channel in a way, and I want to serve what is best for my subscribers. Okay, so today I am going to discuss another programming problems in C, and I am hoping that at the end of this video, I'll be able to share my expertise in C programming, and I'll be able to discuss the program line by line in a way, right? Because I'll be making, manual simulation. Because in programming, it is quite, you know, important for you to know the possible screen output or result of your program prior to running it to the compiler. Okay, that's based on my experience. Okay, so we will be having some manual simulations in here, and I'll discuss the program line by line. Okay, and try to uh, share my way of analyzing and techniques in programming problems. Okay, so let's start. I'll be sharing to you guys my online notepad. Okay, now this is the problem. Okay, we are going to create a program that will I'm sorry, that will sum up or get the total of digits in a number. Okay, so digits in a number. Now, on my previous video, I have some videos that will, uh, add the the first and last digit of a number. Okay, and but in this particular video, I will be creating a program that will sum up the different digits in a number. Okay, for example, if the number is 564, then our program will display the total of this. So 5 plus 6 is how much? 11 plus 4, 15, right? So it will display the total of all the digits or digits in a number. Okay, sounds good, right? Um, this is a very short program, but then I want you to look at and focus on the logic, the algorithm behind this program. All right, we are all aware, right? Because the baseline of this discussion is here. If we say whatever number divided by 10, we'll try to determine the last digit of a particular number. For example, this one, if we are going to divide 564, no, I'm sorry, 564 uh, divided by 10, and it will give a result of 56.4, right? And if 564 is being stored to an integer variable, this 56.4 as a result of 564 divided by 10 will be as good as 56, because an integer variable can only handle integer value, and the integer value of 56.4 is 56. And we are all aware also that 564 divided by or modulus 10 will give us the remainder of it. So when we are to, I'm sorry, this is modulo, okay? When we are to get that one, because modulo will return whatever is the remainder of this. So 564 modulo 10, that's how much? 4, right? Why? 4 is actually the remainder of 564 divided by 10. Okay, so these are actually the baseline of the problem. Okay, we'll be using division. We'll divide any number by 10 to eliminate and to identify what is the last digit of that particular integer number. And we'll be using modulo to get the remainder of that. Alright? So, simple. Okay, now, let's start. I have here two integer variables, num and sum. Num is for actually a variable that we will be using to store values coming from the user. And sum in here, which I tend to initialize it by 0, but you can either initialize it or not, then it's no problem. But to make it sure that sum must be 0, then will give uh, or initialize it to 0. Okay? Now, sum is actually a variable that we'll be using to sum whatever digits that we have and eventually print it out. Alright, okay. Now here, I have this two input and output statements. So this line will be asking for a value, and assuming the user input or entered 564, then that 564 will be stored to num. Alright? Be stored to num. And then followed by a loop. This is a loop, while loop. And the condition that we did use is what? Is num, right? Is num not equal to 0. Meaning if this condition is true, perform these two lines. If false, do not perform and look for another statement. Okay? So meaning while the value of num is not equal to 0, if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, this condition is true. But if num is equal to 0, then this condition is false. Alright? So in this particular period of time, our num is 564, which is not equal to 0. So meaning the condition is true, right? Now, since the condition is true, we will be performing or executing these two mathematical expression. The first one is whatever is your sum, right? Add it up after getting the remainder of your num divided by 10. Okay? So when you say whatever is your sum plus the result of your num modulo 10, meaning the result of your 564 divided by 10. So this is good as saying sum is equal to your sum, which is 0, right? We initialize it by 0. We're following. And then plus, right? Plus this one. So the remainder of your num, 564 divided by 10. Okay? 564 divided by 10 or modulo 10. The remainder of this one is what? The remainder of this one is, because the result of this one is 56.4, 56.4. So meaning the result is 4. Because modulo will get the remainder. So at this time, our sum is how much? We'll try to adjust the space. Okay. At this period of time, our sum is how much? 0 plus 4. And that is 4. Okay? That is 4. And then followed by our num. What is this? Our num is whatever is your num divided by 10. Our num is 564 divided by 10. That's 56.4. And since num is an integer variable, so we'll be storing integer value. And the integer value of 56.4 is 56. You're following? Okay? So, then, what's next? It goes back to the condition because this is a loop statement. It loops. And when it loops, the condition is now checking for your num is not equal to 0. Our num is 56, which is not equal to 0. So still the condition is true. And if the condition is true, perform these two lines. The two lines says sum is equal to whatever is your sum, right? Our sum is 4. Okay? So 4 plus your num modulo 10. Our num this time is 56. Modulo 10, meaning get the remainder. Get the remainder. So good as saying 4 plus the remainder of 56 divided by 4. And the remainder of 56 divided by 4 is 6. Alright? So meaning our sum now is equal to 10. Are you following? Okay. Now look at this. Num, okay? Num now is equal to how much? Divided by 10. Our num is 56. Divided by 10, that's 5. 5.6. And num is an integer variable. So we'll be storing integer value. And the integer value of 5.6 is 5. Okay. And here, condition. Because it goes back then. Here. The condition says, is your num, which is 5, not equal to 0. Still, the condition is false. Because 5 is not equal to 0. Now, since true, not false. Since true, then perform these two lines again. Alright? So, sum is equal to whatever is your sum. Our sum is 10. Right? So, 10 plus the remainder of your num, which is 5. Okay? 5 modulo 10. When you are to get the remainder of 5 modulo 10, that's 5 divided by 10. The result is how much? 0.5. Alright? Good as saying sum is equal to 10 plus 5. Right? Because the remainder of 5 modulo 10 is 5. So, our sum now is 15. Alright? And the next formula is here. What is the integer value of your num? Alright? Your num, which is 5, divided by 10. Divided by 10. The integer value of that is how much? 0. Because 5 divided by 10 is 0.5. And num is an integer value. So we'll be storing and getting integer value, a variable. And we'll be storing integer value of 0.5. And an integer value of 0.5 is 0. Okay. So then, we'll goes back again to the condition. Is our num, which is 0, not equal to 0? This time, the condition is false. Alright? Now, Since the condition is false, our program will exit from the loop and proceed to the next statement. The next statement says what? Display sum of digits is equal to whatever is our sum. Our sum is how much? Our sum is 15. Alright? So 15. Now let's check. Okay, let's check. This is the result. Okay, this is the result. Oh, our num, or the value that is being assumed entered by the user, is 564, and our program will tend to get the sum of those three digits or digits. So 5 plus 6 is 11, plus 4 is 15. Are you following? Okay, so this is somewhat similar to the previous video, but we are trying to, to get the sum of all digits, and we also have video that tend to get the sum of the first digit and the last digit, and we do have video also that try to reverse digits into the other way around. Okay, so it is a very interesting example and program. If you can get the logic, right? If you can understand or get to know the algorithm of this program, surely you can use these techniques in your programming journey. Trust me, you can use this one. My suggestion is always expose yourselves to any programming problems, and if you feel that you can do it, it's programmable, then do programming, right? Do programming, create formulas out from the scratch. You can even use Google, right? You can search. There are so many examples in there. Just analyze and study the algorithm. Okay, so that's it. um, I hope I was able to explain the program, the logic, okay, the flow in programming. For as long as you know the behavior of the statements inside, like for example, you know what is the behavior of printf, you know what is the behavior of scanf, you know what is the behavior of an integer variable. All right, an integer variable can only hold integer value. Take note of that. All right? Because when you are to use division, any number divided by 10, most of the time, you'll be dealing with decimal places. And if you're using an integer variable, that decimal value will be ignored, right? Because your variable can only hold integer, whole number value. And you can use that behavior in your programming way, right? Modulo, for example. Modulo will return whatever is the remainder. Now, knowing that a number modulo 10 gives always a remainder value. So you can use modulo, right? To identify what value of digit is that. When you are to divide your number by 10, usually and always the last digit is your remainder. 105 divided by 10, the remainder of that is 5. That's 10.5. Okay? So the remainder is 5, right? And the integer value is 10. And from that technicality, if you get to know well, you can use that in your programming. Right? So that's it. We'll try to use our online compiler. Okay, this is actually the same program that I had discussed a while ago. I will be using this example 564. Okay, So we'll try clicking run um, button. Okay. I hope you're following. I'm sorry. Is my internet okay for a while? Okay, it's running. Sometimes my internet is down. Okay. By the way, if you have extra time, please get to subscribe my channel and share this video or YouTube channel to your friends, neighbors who are searching for any programming language or wanting to learn programming in a way. And please tell them that Junel, myself, Kuya Egg, uh, suggested to learn C first. Learn C programming. And once you're good in C, all will be okay. Yeah, you can migrate it to another programming languages. Okay, what value was that? 564. So we'll try giving this. I'm sorry. Oops. We'll try running this again. Okay, for a while. And we'll be using that 564 as our value. I hope I'm okay. My internet's okay. Okay. 564. Are you following? When you press enter key, that 564 will be stored to num, and this num will be right in a way every time it loops, we'll get rid of the remainder, and on the second line we'll get rid of the whole number or the integer value. Now it displays sum of digits is 15, which is actually correct. Our manual simulation is correct. And the way we look at the program, the behavior of the program, the way we look at it, our perception and understanding is also correct. Okay. Now, let's have another example. Let us say 777. Is that possible? 7 plus 7 plus 7 is how much? 21. Right? See? Sum of digits is 21. Alright. Okay. So I hope I was able to explain the program. Okay. By the way, I posted the video of my daughter's wedding yesterday, November 18. That video is more on the unboxing of wonderful wedding gifts. That's I made title of that. And please uh, 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 give me 2 to 3 weeks from now. I will be posting the entire wedding ceremony of my daughter. Okay, I'm on the process of editing the video, and I hope I can share that wedding here. Okay, it's a once in a lifetime video for my daughter, and I want her to uh, remember the ceremony together with my son-in-law, Dong Inting Pabusara. And of course, my second generation Junel, my grandson, um, Zion Vincent Junel. I love you, baby Zion. All right. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something today. Okay. So that's all for now. God bless us. God bless you. God is good.